The Kizer T1 Yuli Henneke design. There's just so much about the T1 I've liked for a long time. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you remember or if you were into knives back then in 2016, whatever, but when Kizer was kicking out with all their titanium knives, this and that, I didn't pay much attention to the T1 when they came out in titanium. Okay, at first, I did not. So look this one over. This is in micarta now, 154 cm steel. Later, it may have been 2017, something like that, having a table sale, I got one in for that because I had never bought one. And I put it in my hands and I was like, wow, what a drop to this knife. And there's just so much to like about this knife when you put it in your hand. First of all, the Ergos are really, really good. And it's a very simple design, but it's like, oh God, like so many other knives. Like I think of a real purpose-built knife like Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Okay, that's like that knife you could always grab, and you will, and you know that it's capable of doing whatever. And it's slender and light, and yet it's got great ergos, all kinds of things, right? And this is in that genre, really. And it's a lot cheaper than the PM2. At least this one is. And it really got ridiculous because I hate to say this, but some of the T1 knives ended up getting closed out by Kizer for at or below $100. Okay? I'm talking S35VN titanium. Okay? And they were a hell of a, maybe even 79. I'm thinking after discount or something. I can't remember what it was, but there was a blowout like in 2019 or something. I can't remember, but it was insane. I remember it being crazy. And I don't have one anymore, but I got this one. And this one is $79 now. But this is micarta, and this is a steel liner lock. Like I said, 154 cm blade steel. And they put a backspacer in here. And then you could put a lanyard through here. Deep carry pocket clip. Right hand only, though. It's weird that they didn't go left with this as well. But ambidextrous thumb studs. It's not a flipper. And it's not a front flipper. But this just is so easy to kick open, and it's just crazy, almost dangerous how it just drops. It just drops. Real easy. So I've always thought, it gives you some thickness here in the handle, so it's not overly scrawny. And just look at the blade shape. It just makes a lot of sense. It does. And I'm going to grab me a piece of paper. I'm going to check this factory edge. Okay. Okay. It's a good factory edge. It's a good factory edge. It's not scary sharp, but it's where it needs to be as a factory edge. Ambidextrous thumb studs, micarta scales. I could stand this. Now, I don't think they ever made this in G10, or at least I'm not thinking that they did. Too bad. Of course, this is a Vanguard series. Okay, so this is the V for Vanguard. 3490 Charlie 1. Okay, green micarta. Yuli Henneke designed 3.2-inch knife blade. Okay, so and that was another thing about this. It was never a big knife, and but it was just right size. 3.2-inch blade, at 85 millimeter, 7.5 inches at 19 centimeters. So it wasn't like 8.25. So it was always like kind of a little bit smaller, but not small. You know what I mean? So, and you know, the Elementum here's, you know, 3 and a 7, right? So this is definitely a bigger knife. And I don't know, just such a generalist, but the drop is so nice. It's fidget friendly, and it's really, let me put this caliper on here as far as the handle goes. See, you know, it's not too scrawny on the handle, and of course with this micarta, it's grippy. 13 millimeters at a 1/2 inch, and then what do we got? 3 millimeter blade stock at 0.11. Okay, and let's just finish it off by getting the weight, and it's not too heavy either. 3.6. So I mean, it's not super lightweight, but it's not heavy by any means. At 102, let's say 103 grams, whatever. But the Ergos have always been nice. The blade shape's always been a nice tall grind, you know, and just piercing, slicing, just a generalist that's good at almost everything, and just a very simplistic design that's always been pleasing to the eye, I think, at least. So, and it's back in micarta. So, I mean, just putting that out there for whoever's interested. Yuli Henneke, yes. You know, he's the guy behind Amir or Amare knives, you know, as well. So this is really, one of my kind of older favorites, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't at first. When I first saw it come out from Kizer, there was so much going on with the Megatherium and all kinds of other knives that were way, you know, more fanciful and crazy. And this was just Mr. Practical, but comfortable, you know, and it is. And the pass-through here, really easy to disengage that liner. Let me see. Where are we on the lockup? That's pretty light. That's 20% maybe. Okay. They didn't jimp along here, but then again, it's not a problem to disengage that blade at all. And the blade's pretty light, and it's quick over the detamp ball as well. So, yeah, and it drops really nice once you do that. It's centered. No blade play, no lock rock there. The plunge is symmetrical. I mean, Kizer, how many guys have I seen in the comment section or different places, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, saying, Kizer's like burning it up this year. They've got the jet engines on. They have been blasting it, haven't they? I mean, Kizer, check it out. Like the Genie front flipper, 2.2 inches. It's ridiculous. 2.2 ounces, 3.4 inch blade. Longer blade on this than here. 2.2 ounces, 2.25 ounces, okay? 7.7 inches overall length. This is a bigger knife, a longer knife than this, okay? Insane. Micarta. And a 154 cm. They've been doing a lot in 154 cm, which is fine with me. But then even like the October is back in titanium, right? In 20 CV. Now, this is bigger than the October. But I mean, just, God, the Beglighter 2, the Beglighter 2 XL, button lock, the Kizer original, I don't know. It's completely insane. They've just been really ripping it up. But yeah, this is, that's not green, is it? But boy, that's some rough weave stuff. And I could be just as happy with G10, to tell you the truth. I always worry about micarta. You know, it soaks up. I mean, but if I set it down and there was some solvent or some oil or something, then it's going to soak up in there. Where G10 would be very resistant and probably just wipe off, you know. So I can live with G10. I wouldn't mind having G10. But this one, it's probably more tactile and grippy though. But Ergos, Ergos, Ergos. Reverse grip, yeah. And I just ignored this knife for over a year until it finally came in and I put my hands on it. And there's just those knives that you got to do that. And there was so many crazy, sexy looking knives coming out from Kizer at the time, you know. But this one, here it is, and it's still here, and it's still popular. And it's such a good knife. Let's rip the hell out of it. Let's tear it apart. Yes. And obviously, it's coming apart because there must be a D shape on the pivot because this pivot's not spinning on me. Started turning and then it stopped. And then after about a quarter of a turn. So I know there's something in there anchoring that down. And let's pull that. Oh, we've got this little screw back in here, and guess what? We're going to take the pocket clip out so we can get to it. Pull that, and pull that, and I think both of these. Oh, another thing, have you noticed that they've been putting extra hardware? I mean, extra screws and stuff in their boxes too. You notice that? That's nice. Oh, let's get this one. That's what we were taking the pocket clip out for. Okay, so we got you. You gonna go away? Okay, there you go. Okay, and then this one. You not falling out? You're not gonna fall out? Wow, you just don't want to, do you? Here you go. And you know what? Both you guys look the same. Okay. Now, pull everything, including the liner. Then why did that happen? I guess the liner's just tucked in there, isn't it? And there it is. A little bit of skeletonized or reduced weight thing going on there. And then there's your lock bar side. Ceramic bearings, and of course I just knocked out a big old, what the hell? Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Look at that. That's not a solid piece there. That's where, I mean, so basically it just took a standard, you know, standoff, just made an extra and made it the size that they needed for the, okay, I mean for the stop. Okay, there's your blade. There's your other side. And, of course, this has got to be... Oh, baby, yeah. That is steel. So, yes. And that does heft the thing up a little bit, doesn't it? Adds a little bit of weight. But other than that, it looks really clean. Oh, and what was I going to look at here? Oh, well, as you can see from this, is that D-shaped pivot, okay? So push it right on back, and it's got to go through this little D shape here. Other than that, you're good. Then you can just throw it back together after you get done servicing your knife, which this one doesn't need serviced because it's already perfect. Okay, now here and here, and oh, let's throw this hoss of a stop on here. That thing is big, and we got this liner. Okay, and are you gonna engage all the way? Oh, I got this thing bent over somehow. Hold on. Well, let go. Let go. Okay, there you go. Come on. There you go. Are you standing where you got to now? I didn't want to kick it over. Okay, now we're good. Now put this on. Now we're good. Now we can put the pivot on. And we're good there. I don't want to get cranked down too hard. And then we got body screw, and then the pocket clip. We should be good. These are number 8s. And this is a number 8. Up, up, up. What do you think? Time for the pocket clip, and it's not going through any standoffs or anything. It's just going into the liner. So they're the same size screw. Number 6s, but they're flat, aren't they? They're flat, and that means they're going to stay down out of the way of your pocket when they slide in there. Now, let's make sure that we're good, and are we centered? Yeah. Did I screw it down too hard? I guess not. Woo! Lord. Oh, man, you want to get right after it, doesn't you? Maybe should actually give it a little bit more. Keep you from being overly frisky. Okay. You there. Hold on. No play. But it's definitely, woo. She's good to go now. And I guess I probably need to do this just for the hell of it because, see? Extra hardware. They already got it ready to go, don't they? Thread locker on it, ready. There's your plastic for your knife. And then you do get a microfiber cloth in here, as you can see, in with your paperwork. So everything's complete in there, and it's a Vanguard series. It's not their premium, stuff. So this is their economy series knife, and they put a lot of stuff in there. What do you think? The T1, I like it. Always have. When I first got my hands on it, at least, then I actually learned how to appreciate it. And ever since then, I've liked it. It's real handy. We are Love Them Knives, by the way. Subscribe to my channel if you would, and stay sharp.